Welcome. The podcast that covers a team that has 63 wins. I am still not over it, and I could care less about today's outcome. I could really care less, y'all. Like, it's the least important thing to me is this outcome of this game. We got to 63. I know Amit wanted 66. I get it. I understand the stats kind of behind it, but man, you know what? 63 just slaps. It just does, man. It ain't 62, and it's not 62 and 20. It's 63. And I think we're going to get one more against the Jazz, so I think we're going to finish with 64-18. That sounds good to me. I'm not mad at that. I'm excited, and I want to just talk about the excitement that this season brought, and I want to talk about the bubble and how that propelled everything. We can talk about Monty. I don't want to get into the what ifs now. Who we might play. You know, I kind of want to go over what the seating is looking like right now. I think that would be fun. But this is a celebration. We're not playing what ifs this, what ifs that, who's going to be here next season. We're celebrating this team tonight. And to do that, I have the one and only Suns fan, Randy. What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Look at that old school flavor. I've got it too. JJ, that one kind of looks like a 92, 93 type of hat. What's going on, JJ?
Yes. I am doing amazing, guys. I am blessed to be part of this great podcast, and it was a perfect time to start with just
no coincidence.
Like our teams, like the Cardinals, they were good for the first half of the season. They showed promise for the future, and then our Phoenix Suns just running through the league, taking numbers, taking names, and now we're looking at the best Phoenix Suns team in franchise history from a win standpoint. But to say that the job's not finished, I'm looking forward one game at a time when the playoffs start. But I just want to take tonight just to reflect how far we've come from 3 years ago, from just winning 16 games, losing 63 having 63 losses.
Yeah.
And within that summer, Booker could have left. None of us would have blamed him, but he signed that extension.
Hired Monty.
He hired Monty, and James Jones came to the building and completely changed his franchise around. It's one of the biggest turnarounds I've seen from any franchise in recent memory. The bubble is what we needed. The seeds were planted when James Jones acquired Ricky Rubio and traded to get Sarge and Mikal. And then
Aaron Baines.
With Aaron Baines too, and having great big man coaches around DA to develop those skills and the soft touches around the rim, and just Booker's repetition, getting double teamed constantly, because he was the only scoring threat for so long. And now, to fast forward to today, 63 wins, 17 losses now, absolutely insane. But we can go all day. And we're about to go a full hour talking about this team, man. I'm just so happy. And tonight's game just further proved how brilliant this team is. Ish, welcome to the roster, bro.
Sign him, man. They need to sign him and get him there. I want to get one drop real quick in, because I don't want to play it ever again, and I don't want to talk about it. But man, Los Angeles Lakers.
Wild shot!
That's all we got to talk about with them. That's all we got to say. You know, and Freddie, Freddie Henderson, I hope you go back and you watch this, because you went in on me, bro, in December when I joined ASAP Sports and I started talking about the Suns were the best team. You went in on me, and I was like, all right, maybe I am overreacting, but inside I knew we were the best team in the league then. I knew it then. And he just went off. He went off. So I went on to his podcast, apologized to him, and he does not have the balls to say any type of thing back to me. Even though when he said like a week and a half ago on his podcast, and I was, in the comments, typing up like, no, the Lakers are trash, we're better, yada, yada, yada. He said, fine. But if we get the playoffs and we beat the Suns in the first round, y'all need to come on here and have some of that humble pie. And then I'm on his podcast today, be like, bro, you owe me an apology. I'm not saying nothing. Blah, 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 blah. Lakers fans, man. Like, noted.
Man.
Suns fan Randy, we did not have the pleasure of knowing each other last year or through the bubble. I want to know from you what it was like, watching that whole first season with Aaron Baines and Oubre and Ricky Rubio, that whole thing. That's the year that DeAndre Ayton got in trouble for the PEDs. If he didn't go for that 25-game suspension, we probably would have been in the playoffs. Like most people would guess that would be the case. So talk to me about that season, the bubble last season.
Yeah, man. So before I go back, I want to sprinkle my little Laker hate too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody sprinkled a little. I felt like the Grinch yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Christmas came early for sure. Like I was like, there's no way like that we put out the Lakers 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, we set the franchise record. I was like, there's no way. Like there's absolutely no way. But that's how it went down. And I couldn't ask for a better. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't ask for a better way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I was rubbing it in Lakers fans' face all day today. But so to go back in the time machine, man, those 2018, 2019 teams. So I feel like watching it, I remember a lot of anger. I remember a lot of frustration. I remember a lot of nights going to sleep like, damn, like wondering if Book is going to leave, like kind of buying into that national narrative. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but like, it seemed like almost every week, like somebody was coming out, oh, Devin Booker is going to leave and he's going to go here. He's connected with this dude that he bought him a coffee one time. So like, you know what I'm saying? Devin Booker's definitely, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, God dang. So it's just like, I don't know like if he was happy. And I felt like, and on top of that, to add it on, like he kind of brought some of that on himself because he came out and said, this is my last year not making the playoffs. And then we missed the playoffs. And
I
I'm
forgot about that.
Yeah. So I was like, man, like it just felt like a girl that was just too good for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I understand if you gotta leave. But once we got Ricky, I was like, all right, like things are changing a little bit. And I was like, all right, cool. And it's so crazy because I feel like Booker was more efficient with Ricky Rubio than he is with CP3 for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why.
I've been saying that. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was way more efficient. Like these games, like it took me a while to kind of get used to like these games, like where he'll go like 11 for 22, and it's just like when Ricky Rubio was there, he was going like 14 for like 19 or something.
19,
like
yeah.
It would just be like something ridiculous, and I was just like that kind of put him over the hump over Donovan Mitchell because he was getting a lot of like, oh, Donovan Mitchell is better than him. It was just a lot, man. It's just whole lot of fighting with our back against the wall. You know what I'm saying? That's all I remember is a whole lot of just like swinging at everything. But yeah, it was the Donovan Mitchell stuff, and all these people had already leapfrogged him and stuff like that. But going into the bubble, it's like to me, I feel like the bubble, like I appreciate the bubble for what it was. I appreciate the 8-0, but like I don't really like, a lot of people look on it fondly, and I kind of do and I don't, just because like I feel like we had so much more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they gave us 8-0 and we just barely missed the playoffs. So it's just like I just wonder what would have happened if we'd have made it. You know what I'm saying? Just the stride that we hit at that time. So, and then just like the way it ended was just abrupt, and it was just like, damn. So it left a sour taste in my mouth a little bit, but I appreciate like going through it and, you know what I'm saying, putting everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because that essentially turned us to what we are today. So I'm for sure grateful for it. But to me, it just looking back on it, like I was just like, man, like I feel like that team right there, it was just different. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just what it was. But yeah, man, it's just those early years with Book, Aiden, and then Aiden. One thing I do miss about Aiden, I feel like Aiden used to shoot that midi a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now he got like, I'm pretty confident when Aiden has 1 foot in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get it done and just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what his percentage is. I think it's like 60 or 70 whenever he has 1 foot in the paint. But you know what I'm saying? I just miss kind of like that, just that mid-range Aiden. But outside of that, you know what I mean? Like it was just, you know, it was a good time and for what it was, and it just built us to what we are today.
I definitely feel like Aiton's got his shot back 100%. My biggest thing with him was not being able to build off of that and
Mm-hmm.
going completely away from his midi. That was my biggest issue with him. Like if he just had one go-to move last year, one go-to something, I think the playoffs could have been a little bit different. And now he's got a hook shot. Now he's got a jumper. He's got a little bit of a turnaround jumper. I wouldn't totally rely on it, but I love his midi now. And then Randy last year, it it looked like we started off 8-8 last year.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a little rough. I think a lot of people would have been. I know vlogs would have been frustrated, but they picked it up. They won on a handful of 7, 8, 9 game win streaks.
Mm-hmm.
Finished the season strong, and then we had our historic run. So when we beat the Lakers in the first round last year and had our whole playoff run, what was Cali like, and what was it like for you?
Man, so I was getting, me, like I gotta wear Sun stuff like every single day. So I went outside, just Suns jerseys on, everybody looking at me. I remember I went to one store and then one dude, like I guess he watched the game and like was an actual fan. He was like, "You didn't have to do all that. Like you could have just came in." But I was just like, "No, like y'all gotta feel it." But I felt like last year was because my thing was is that they were hyping up the Lakers so much last year, and they were saying that the Lakers were the best in the West. They were defending champions, so it was just like one of those things where it's just like, well, if we beat the defending champions and we beat the favorites, what are we now? But nobody really wanted to say that out loud, like, oh, like, well, then you guys are, you know what I'm saying? Or if we beat, you know what I'm saying? So, but I just feel like the sense in LA was just a lot of frustration, a lot of like just bitterness, and just like a lot of people just like, oh man, if AD wasn't, but we all know who he is. You know what I'm saying? We all know what it was. But yeah, man. But that season, that early season, just to like give you my context from it. In the beginning of the season, I wasn't. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was not a fan of the CP3 trade initially, just because. And I need to get like his jersey frame, but I feel like Kelly Oubre, I got to give him his props, man. Like, cause him, like he kind of changed the whole culture of the franchise, and I feel like that kind of gets kind of oversawn a lot because he's gone now. But if it wasn't for him kind of coming in and creating a culture and just, you know what I'm saying, just being that spark, just being the heart of the team, I feel like I don't know like where we would be without that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like when we traded for Chris Paul, I was just like, oh man, he gets hurt and boo boo and blah blah blah. But that was like it made me swallow my words, like swallow that whole thing.
I mean, he definitely. I don't know if he changed the culture because I don't know if we were a better team with him. But I mean, clearly, like we weren't compared
Right.
to Chris Paul. But he was somebody that didn't back down from anybody, and he could dunk over people. And we didn't have somebody like that. He was the highlight film. He's what kind of made us exciting. I feel like that team was like the Grizzlies last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just if that makes sense. Like we had a few high flyers that could do some things. You know what I'm saying? But this team that we have now is just so their execution.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it kind of comes down to me when I'm looking at this team now. And JJ, I want to get to you in a second. The only thing that I can think of it beyond like the words clutch and other flash words like that, execution. This team and their execution is beyond a lot of things that I've seen. I mean, there's some teams that get away with fast breaking, hitting a lot of threes, hitting logo threes, things along those lines. But to be able to execute at such a high rate in clutch time in the NBA is an incredible feat. JJ, talk to me about what this year has mean to you, because we started this podcast and we didn't know what was going to come of it. All of a sudden, we have 220 plus subscribers, thanks to a lot of Cardinals fans too. Our Cardinals fans were popping in the chat for a while too, and we've lost some of them since we've kind of gone to Arizona or Phoenix Suns content. I mean, we can talk about the Cardinals, but it's way more fun talking about the Suns right now. I don't even want to talk the Cardinals. So talk to me about this whole year encompassing starting out 1-3, then immediately getting an 18 game win streak and just kind of go off for a minute, bro.
Well, I want to bring it back to when I was a young buck. I was born in 2000 Y2K year, and me growing up, I was always implemented in basketball. I was always in basketball culture and stuff. And I saw young Kobe. I saw LeBron's first game. Uh, I saw one of the last MJ games as well. But like me growing up in Phoenix and stuff, like I loved some of the Phoenix Suns teams that we had, but it got to like living in Phoenix, like it's like it's a soup kitchen full of California people and Texas people. It's like literally everybody's here. So you have LA culture, you have Texas culture that's kind of corroded Arizona a bit, especially in the sports world. You see Dodger stuff more than Diamondback stuff nowadays. And that's just how things are. And with Arizona sports, it like for me growing up, it was always hard trying to defend them. Yeah, I always rooted for my roots and what I cheer for and stuff, and I love those teams and stuff. But it just like when Kobe would just smack us every year, and then San Antonio would come through and just rip our heart out. Those years were so hard, and then when we went through that 10-year drought of just really really bad basketball, I got out of touch for a while. Like a lot of my family is from the East Coast. I have Ohio roots and stuff. Like I grew up a big LeBron fan, so a lot of my energy and focus went towards the LeBron's legacy and watching the next best player of all time and stuff. And like I remember the Gortat days and like and these like little moves that the Suns would make with Tim Donaghy and freaking Igor and all that. And it was just hard to just sit through all of
Terry
that.
Porter.
Terry Porter.
Terry Porter.
So like, but what made it easier for me is my cousin David. If you're watching, shout out to him. Him and I are practically the same age. He's a couple of years older than me, but him and I, all we did was watch basketball together, talk basketball. And like him and I were affiliated with the same teams and stuff, so it made it easier to go through all this, at least with somebody, because in elementary school everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a Golden State fan," and they've lived here all their life and they have no roots to Northern California, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm an Oregon Ducks fan," and like they're not affiliated with Oregon Ducks whatsoever, and so. I always felt like I was kind of like the black sheep, in a sense of going for these teams. And I know you guys felt the same way. And to fast forward to, the bubble year and like what sort of reeled me back in is you guys probably don't remember him, but George King, when he got drafted by the Suns.
Of course I do. Colorado, great.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So I was working at a restaurant and he was a regular and him and I talked a lot. And we'll talk about games and stuff and his stuff that he's going through as a rookie, just in the league. And like, I'll just, geek out talking about NBA stuff with him. And it got to a point with him and I that he started inviting me to games. He would call, the office. He'll the ticket office, leave my name, be like, you can just come to these games and, just watch us and stuff. And that kind of reeled me back into just a Phoenix Suns culture, seeing Oubre being implemented and Aaron Baines and like just that whole squad. And I was like, man, this team is so exciting to watch. And when DA went out with a PED thing, it broke me. I'm like, man, this is like the same like this is a huge hit, but for some reason, this team kind of stayed, sort of like 500 in my eyes. Like they were winning these tough games, but like they were just very flip floppy. I'm like, hey, this is a lot better than I've seen in the last 10 years. So I'm like, I'll take this. And watching what they did in the bubble was pretty surreal. Like they just cleared house, and it took a Karis LeVert missed shot to keep us out, but we put ourselves in that position. DA put us in that situation. If we won one more game before we went to the bubble, we probably would have been in the playoffs. But I was all like, okay, I'm totally invested in this team now. my favorite player all time went to the Lakers. It's hard to be associated with that because I can't stand the Lakers organization. So I'm like, all my energy is going to go to this Phoenix. And when I heard about,
Oh, we just lost you, bro.
oh,
Sound a little bit.
No, you're like way dead now. You hit something.
But what about
There
now?
we go.
Okay, it was devastating when I heard Kelly Oubre and Ty Jerome were being shipped out because I wanted to see more of Ty. I like the little glimpses that I saw from him, and then Kelly Oubre, he brought the culture back to Phoenix, and it was just so exciting watching him play along with Booker and just everybody, And I really like Kelly Oubre, and I always have love for him. But when I heard Chris Paul was coming back and to see what he did with OKC. Having them as the 4th or 5th seed and almost beating the Rockets in a Game 7 was like that was surreal. And I've been a Chris Paul fan forever. He's like my second favorite player probably ever. And I was just like, come on, let's do this, And we started the season 8-8. I wasn't worried. I knew we would be going through some growing pains, and then just a switch hit and. It felt like every game was crucial because we're not used to, this team winning as much as they did. So it felt like every game was a must watch. And just to see these guys grow from not being in the playoffs at all to making it to the finals was just absolutely surreal. And it was served on a silver platter for us. And it's definitely what, Phoenix needed. It's definitely what, Suns fans needed. Deserved through just the miserable drought that we've been through for so many years, and I would have just been happy with just beating the Lakers in the first round, and if we got cut off the chopping block after, it was a successful season in my eyes. But to make it to the finals, being 2 wins away from taking it all, we were right
who
there.
would have thought?
Yeah,
bro,
who would have thought?
And
it took an
I remember
all-time
going to bed that
performance
night thinking we won it.
Yeah. It took an all-time performance from Giannis to really take this series away. There's nothing you can do about that. But sports media, they're never on our side. They said our window closed and stuff. And when you hear that so many times, you start to believe it a little bit. And then when this season started, we started 1-3. I was all like, you know what? Give us 20 games. Let's see what happens. And what do you know? We just never lost after that. And we're back in the driver's seat. And this team is a lot better than it was last year. You can just see the poise and absolute concentration and just
execution.
The execution and the pettiness that this team has, and
they
are hungry for a Larry OB, man. So I am just pumped for the playoffs, just in general. I can't wait to see all this good competition. It's kind of anybody's game, but I've never been so confident about a team winning it all than I feel right now.
I got a question.
One game at a time, man. One game at a time.
I got a question about that comment. Are we a healthy CP3 away from a championship? How far can CP3 take us to where it's to where we think that we can still win it?
We need a full healthy squad.
Period. You think so?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
I feel like
for a series, yes. For a game, we can talk about a game. For a series, absolutely, 110.
Campaign can hold it down for 2 games, but
for 2 games,
going all the way, yeah. Let's say Chris Paul, has the same freaking arm injury that he had against the Lakers series last year,
or in the finals.
If Campaign could hold it down, for 2 games, he can absolutely do that. And he's shown that he can do that. And besides the Chris Paul injury, Booker was hurt too. His freaking face was swollen for half that series. So, and we went through a lot of grit last year and a lot of backhanded compliments and stuff. We're like, oh yeah, you guys are good, but this person's injured. It was always buts, But
well, that's what it was with AD, man. He even came out and wanted to try to say some stuff yesterday. Everybody's always on the what ifs, and now they're talking about what ifs for 2 full seasons. But you know what? What did Book say? Ifs were fifths. Everybody would be drunk. Look, man, where we came from for 10 years to now is completely unprecedented. We've seen turnarounds like this in the NFL. You can
Right.
go worst to first in the
Yeah.
NFL like that, right?
Bengals.
Just the way that the schedule, when you're the worst team, you get the easiest schedule, right? You
Right.
get first choice on waivers, you get all that stuff.
Get all
So
the picks.
yeah, exactly. You get the first pick in every single round. It's completely different. And the MLB, a little bit harder. We've seen it before, mostly with like the Oakland A's and stuff. Even the Diamondbacks in 2007, 2011, if I'm not mistaken. You know, they've done a worst to first thing, but it's never been long. There's never been a longevity to it. This Phoenix Suns team that came from 63 losses to get 63 wins went through a lot of ish. No pun intended to Ish Wainwright. Shout out my boy for getting a 20 burger tonight and your career high. Atta boy. But it's amazing that we get so much hate after we were dog water for 10 years, man. It's amazing we get so much hate. How does Memphis get more love than the Phoenix Suns?
Man, how
does the Grizzlies get more love?
The Grizzlies fans absolutely killed me. Like when I posted a video about it, they absolutely like came like, "Oh, the Grizzlies are gonna do this and da da da, and y'all should be scared of them." And I was just like, "Yo, like this is nuts. Like where did all these Grizzlies fans come from? Number one, number two.
That's another point too. That's another point too.
Number two is just like I feel like Grizzlies have a lot of flaws, but I feel like them being exciting to watch is kind of like overshadowing like the flaws of the team. But like I said, I don't want to seem like a hater because I feel like at this point it kind of is like, oh, like man, you just hating on the Grizzlies, you just hating woo woo blah. But I just feel like I said, I feel like they have flaws in the team, and I feel like we'll see in the playoffs. Like,
they're gonna have to face the T-Wolves or the Clippers in round one.
And if they play the Clippers,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
tough.
If
they play the Clippers, they might go home. Like realistically,
I'll take the Clippers in 6.
They realistically might go home because, like I said, I feel like they struggle with shooting. Yes, they offensively rebound a lot, but like I said, in the playoffs, the game slows down a whole lot, and teams don't take as many bad shots. So it's just like you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Or like the boards aren't gonna be like like if you win the board battle or whatever, because it's just like every look's gonna be a good look or whatever. And then I don't know. I just feel like the way that the Clippers can go, especially the Clippers, is just like I don't know.
Clippers will lock them down. I'm sorry, Clippers will lock them down.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So real quick, JV, if you don't know who the Believe Warriors were, look up the Believe Warriors. That team with Baron Davis, Jason Richardson,
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes,
Steven
Jackson, and Al Harrington.
That was a good squad, man.
I was trying to think of who the skinny white dude was.
It wasn't Andre Karolinko.
Biedrins. Andres Biedrins, that's what it was. Go look at that team and go watch some highlights from the 2007 first round and the Mavericks and do a little research on that. And then
just watch Baron Davis, dude.
Baron Davis was B Diddy was nasty. B Diddy was nasty. He was nasty straight up. And go back and look at the mid 90s and early 2000s when they had Chris Webber, Tom Gugliotta, Tim Hardaway, and Latrell Sprewell. And if you don't know who Latrell Sprewell is, Spree was a problem until he decided to throw a towel. Did he throw a towel in PJ Carlesimo's face, or did he slap somebody?
I think he slapped somebody.
No, he choked.
He
choked.
Oh yeah, he straight up.
He choked Carlesimo.
Oh no,
he was gone. And then he went to the Knicks, and then he played with Allen Houston, and they were the 8th seed and made it to the finals and lost to the Spurs in that shortened 99 season. And then he went to the Timberwolves, had some success with Sam Cassell and KG in 2001 or 2002 when they were the best team in the league, but then lost to the Lakers. So Warriors had some squads back in the day, man, especially with Chris Webber, Latrell Sprewell, Googs, and Tim Hardaway. Like, I thought they were on the up and up, and I was like 8. and then it just kind of fell apart. Things just didn't work out, kind of like the Kings, you know how it is. But another good comment from the Grizzlies are popular because Ja is a great dunker. That's why the Suns were popular with Amari, y'all. That's why the Sonics were popular with Sean Kemp. Right. When you have a big dude that can dunk like that over people, mercilessly, you're going to get views. And now in the age of YouTube and all that shit, that's what's going to make it. That's why everybody loves Steph Curry, even though he's kind of he had a washed year. He wasn't that great. He's going to have more of a drop off next year, and then so forth, so forth, so forth. But we're talking about the goddamn Phoenix Suns that are the best team in the NBA as of right now in the regular season.
But back to it, like I think that I don't know, man. I feel like Book can. I don't know. I feel like Book can carry. I don't know if I'm confident enough to say a series. But I feel like Book can carry a series. Like, don't quote me on it, but I said it. Like,
bro,
I think.
Listen, if we're gonna go out and win an NBA championship, he has to. Yeah. When has a team not won an NBA championship when their dude hasn't been the dude?
Right.
Yeah, like Book needs to be that dude this year. You know?
And I think that the motivation of him losing last year, I think that if he gets in that same situation again, I think that he balls out of control.
I think he averages 33.5 in the playoffs.
33-10. That's what I want to see.
He averages 33.5 points.
He's been working on that. I could tell. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but he's been working on that pull-up 3-ball, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to. So when
anytime he shoots a 3 now, I'm like, wet.
Yeah.
No, especially that dribble pull-up 3, and it's just like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep teams honest because they know that you want to get to the mid-range. So if you do that dribble pull-up 3, they really won't know what to do. Yeah. So it's just like, I see what you're trying to do, Book. Yeah. So if he can add that to the bag.
Vlogs, I know you're in here. Do you have anything negative to say about tonight's game, my guy?
Can I give my 2 cents on the game too?
Yeah.
Let's go for it. I want to give my 2 things real quick.
If there's any Clippers fans in here,
Cam Johnson needs these next 2 games big time. We need Cam Johnson to come around, and I think Cam will. I think he's a consummate professional, right? He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. I think he'll turn it around. It might take a couple games in the playoffs, but I think he will. And Cam Payne. It felt like Cam Payne was trying to play Chris Paul and not play as Cam Payne.
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I mean, after that, we weren't playing matchup zone. We ran a few plays that we got wide open looks for, by the way. Wide open looks, and we just didn't hit shots. And then we got completely away from it in the second quarter when we went on that huge 21-0 run. But Cam Johnson was it, and Elfrid Payton never needs to touch the floor again.
Yeah. 100%.
Aaron Holiday is that dude.
Yeah, like how we threw him out there instead of Aaron or FA. Like I kind of want to see what he looked like. You know what I mean? I want to see what he had a couple good looks, but he passed him up. But yeah, I feel like in these kind of games or in this kind of situation and scenario that we're in right now, I feel like we all know Mikal wants to play, so let's let Mikal play 5-10 minutes, whatever. Cool.
He wants the Iron Man award.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't blame him, dude. I don't blame him.
But it's like it's people on the team that want this. Like Aaron Holiday, like brought us back, like literally in the fourth quarter. Him and Torrey Craig and kind of FA a little bit with the defense and stuff. So it's like let them get the run, let them get the bulk of it. Like why are we running Cam Payne and like I get Cam Johnson needs we need him to get what I'm saying, like all right, like maybe you can keep him out there. Yeah. But it's just like let these people get some burn. Like quit throwing Elfrid Payton out there. Like and it was just that was the part that was irritating. And then you threw Ish in the same thing. Like he didn't get no burn. It's like the third and fourth quarter. So it's just like let them get some burn, man. They want to play. They want to compete.
I agree, and I think the Clippers are a really, really, really bad matchup for Landry Shamet.
Right.
All those 6'6" to 6'8" dude that are wings that have long arms. That's bad for 6'4" Landry. If he's not hitting open shots, I've said this. You guys know this. I'm still very intrigued by a Landry by a Cam Payne, Aaron Holiday lineup, backcourt lineup. I'm very intrigued by that.
Interesting.
Aaron Holiday can play Reggie Jackson full court, something we didn't have last year.
Mm-hmm. That looked really good. Shout out Aaron Holiday, dude. Like you've been oppressive ever since we acquired you for cash considerations, man.
So, but Ish needs to be on the playoff roster. Elfrid does not play Aaron Holiday. We're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Aaron coming back next year, or does he go somewhere else?
I'm 90% sure he's under contract, but we're not talking about next year. Remember?
Just this year, bud.
I'm letting you get away with that ugly hat in your dome. We're not talking about next year, though.
Got you.
So we do have 2 more games left. I'm curious what you guys think we're gonna do in the next 2. I mean, from what I've seen, it seems like that we're gonna play most of everybody on Friday against the Jazz. We'll obviously rest everybody against the Kings. Do you guys think that we're gonna play a full squad against the Jazz? I mean, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy sat out tonight. Are we going to see a full Jazz squad even? The Jazz still have some playoff seeding if they want to be at least a 5 seed now. They can't get the 4 seed. They could fall to the 6 seed. So I guess for them, it depends on, do you want to play the Warriors or do you want to play the Mavericks?
Right. That's an interesting. Right. I don't know. I feel like I see 2 L's on the horizon, but I don't know if we go out there, like if they do play, like, I don't see them going past halftime. But I don't know. I see 2 L's. At this point, like I'm just after yesterday, I'm just so like that was cool. That was good enough for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just ready for the playoffs at this point.
What do you think, JJ?
I agree with Randy. But I just want to see the momentum keep going. I don't want to get too comfortable sitting on the bench and stuff. So I still want Chris Paul to get his minutes. I still want to see Devin Booker get his minutes. Just play it till half. Try to put the game away by halftime and just let the second and third stringers kind of store the game away. I just don't want to lose any sort of rhythm that we have right now. The Lakers game yesterday was great for us. It kind of proved to everybody, like, hey, everybody's been kind of tripping about the last 2 games and stuff. So I just want to keep this momentum going. So,
but I think that this team is mature enough that I don't think it would let them mess up their rhythm. Now, a team like Steve Nash and stuff back in the day, very much a rhythm team. I feel like that this team can just come out and execute, rest the legs for a week. Everybody's going to shoot 1,000 shots a day. We get to be at home the first 2 games. I have a feeling we're going to play on Sunday, by the way, on Easter Sunday. I don't think we're going to play a Saturday game. I think we're going to play a Sunday game, which is an extra day on top of that. I'm not worried about. I feel like this team has proven everything to all of us.
Everything.
So who are we to question anything? Now, I would be afraid of this scenario, believe it or not. I would be more afraid of coming out game 1 of whoever we play and starting out as hot as possible, 9 for 9 or 12 for 12, and then getting cold, as opposed to starting out cold and then getting hot, right? I feel like if we start out cold and put our backs against the wall, we'll actually fight harder and we would win a game, as opposed to starting hot and then eventually going cold. That's what I'm afraid of going into game 1. That's like the only thing. But even then, I trust this team when it comes down to execution.
That was the issue last year. We'll have like a stretch of like 3-4 games where it didn't seem like we were able to miss a shot. Then we'll just have a lot of cold shooting nights. But with this year, we've had those, but like even with our cold shooting nights, we still end up pulling it out at the end. As long as we keep the games even until the third quarter, have like a 1 or 2 point lead, we can put this game away, like any game away in the fourth quarter. So I like you said, I'm more than confident with this team than I was last year. So.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think so too. I think that I feel like we have the ability to keep applying pressure. Like I don't think that we're that team or like that team anymore. That like when we get a lead or whenever we, I don't think that we're satisfied. I think that they've shown us enough throughout the year. Like, when we get leads, we hold on to leads. Like we're not one of those like, we're not like the Jazz or the Clippers or whatever. One of these teams where it's just like we blow 20-point leads on a regular, or we get hot and then go really cold and then still can't like, you know what I mean? Like I can't even probably tell you the last time like we blew a lead like that was crazy and it was just like, damn, like they really pulled it. You know what I mean?
We haven't going in the fourth quarter, aren't we? Something like 47-0 when having a lead going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think OKC might have broke that. I think OKC might have like ended it at 47, but I'm not too sure. But yeah,
We were
so
down that third.
Game don't matter.
yeah, that one didn't matter. But yeah, so like I'm not too concerned about how we start. Like I said, I just feel like for me, like I just want us to start hot just for like my personal anxiety. Just so it's like, oh man, so I'm not on the edge of my seat, like, oh man, what's going on? Like, because I don't know about you guys. How did you guys feel last year? Like initially, like game one, like paint the picture for
Oh
me.
my
Like
God,
where did you watch it at? Like
I was
That was
off.
a great game, dude.
I was off my rocker, man. I was every play, everything. I was going nuts. And I remember it was the middle of the day too. So like my son just went down for a nap. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then I finally go outside and I'm like, yeah. But I lost it, and then Chris Paul went down.
Yeah. Yep, right at the peak.
And we somehow pulled that game off, and I was still on cloud 9. Like I still had so much belief in this, and then everything kind of trickled from there. But that's how I felt game one.
Jay?
Yeah, I was at Twin Peaks with my dad, and we're sitting at the bar, dude. I've never seen so many Phoenix Suns fans in one of those small areas before. Yeah, there was only maybe a handful of Lakers jerseys. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Because like I said, like the whole 10-year drought, it's been nothing but Lakers jerseys. And dude, that Twin Peaks was on fire, dude. Like the bar was handing out free drinks. And me and my dad, we had a bucket of Coronas and stuff. We were putting those down, and we were watching the game, and I got it. It was just electric, man. I had like goosebumps the whole time. It was such a good game.
Yeah. So for me, like I had literally just got off work, just made it just in the nick of time just to watch it. So I was eating, watching it, and I was just like, all right, we took the lead. And then like some of my friends and stuff were calling me or whatever, but they didn't call me until Chris Paul got hurt. Then all of a sudden everybody like blew up my phone, like, oh, it's over with. The season's over with now. And and I'm just like, oh man.
Trash, man.
So I was just like, oh damn, like they might be right. And then Devin Armani Booker, you know what I'm saying? He decided, you know what, I'm giving us 40 and we go. Was it a 40 triple? Was it a 40-point triple dub?
42
point triple dub. And you know what I'm saying? He said, nah, we not going out like that. And I was just like, there it is. You know what I mean? But I was a bit concerned for game 2, but I was like, oh man, like we're good. So if we can win every game, we need to win every game 1. That's all I ask. Like that's all I ask.
No, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish, my guy. You
True.
don't want, if you were to ask one thing in the playoffs and your dream is to just win game 1, we're gonna lose.
All right, we'll see.
Game 5 is the most important game in every series. I want to win every game 5, because if it's 2-2 going into it, boom, you get that lead going home because we got home court advantage. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. If we're down 1-3, we don't get eliminated. We keep staving out. You know what I mean? Right. Game 5 will be huge for us. And that will be a home game, by the way. Game 6 will be on the road. Excuse me. Game 7 will be at home. So Game 5 is what I want. Coming back home, up 3-1, you finish it. Down 1-3, you live another day. 2-2, you take the lead. Game 5 is where it's at.
Yeah, and then also to another thing to add. Sorry to cut you off, Jay, but like just add to like
shut up, Jay.
Fuck. Oh,
rejected. Like, now, like we got to add the element of like playing in Phoenix is hard. Like winning in Phoenix, like okay, like even if we go cold, like you still have to beat us in Phoenix. So it's just like that's another added element to it. So it's just like a lot of teams can't beat us in a playoff environment in Phoenix. Like it's just
okay. Well, let me go here. Jay, you put in the chat just a minute ago that the Clippers had like 32 more free throws or 30 more free throws than us.
Yeah.
Here's my other concern. Refereeing.
It's definitely an issue. This has been an issue for a long time. So.
That's been an issue. It was an issue through the playoffs. How many times did we talk about a team getting 20 more free throws than us? That Sacramento game not too long ago where they had 38. We had like 17 or some crap like that, right? This game where they had 30 more free throws than us. Like, I hate putting this out there, but it's a legit concern because we're Suns fans. Are y'all worried about that at all? JJ, can we start with you?
like I am to a certain extent because it like if anybody was to ask me what was the deciding factor in the finals last year, like it was definitely the free throw disparity and plus and the size, but it's just hard to watch when one team can be as physical as they want, but it's not the same energy on the opposite side of the court. You know, it's definitely some favoritism. And like, I know Book has a reputation of talking a lot of shit to refs and stuff, but like these refs got to know, dude. Like, you got to call these games fairly.
They don't gotta know
like,
shit. They don't gotta know shit.
Like, I don't know how Scott Foster's gone away with it for so long. I don't know how, like, a lot of these, like that Raptors ref, like, I don't know how, like, yeah, obviously, you know, the money and shit, you know, but like it's definitely a problem. But you know, like we've overcome it this year. You know, the Sacramento game, one of the Raptors games, the Kings game. I actually both the King, like two Kings games and stuff.
Yep.
So we've overcome this stuff and pulled out with W's and stuff. And we have to stay composed. Like Jay Crowder, he needs to reel it back sometimes. Campaign, he needs to bite his tongue and stuff. And Booker too, to a certain extent, but this is what the personality of this team is. We bark, we chirp, but we back it up, dude. So it's like,
but we don't bark and chirp until they do.
Yeah, don't poke the bear. As long as these teams don't poke the bear or like start messing with Jay or a fan starts talking shit to Devin Booker, like things are going to be fine.
Dog,
like,
I'm so tired of starting sayings in Phoenix Suns universe and everybody just rides with them. Like, don't poke the bear. I said that and people mentioned, oh, I was the first to say that. Now everybody fucking says that. And Devin Booker is your favorite player's favorite player. Now everybody's saying that. I'm so tired of coining that shit and not giving credit. God damn it.
You should start putting like the little the copyright
TM?
R. Yeah, the TM.
On
your post all the time.
I've got funny you mentioned that. I'm trademarking something coming up that's costing actually not as much as I thought it would. I'll tell y'all offline so we can collect on royalties and whatnot on the podcast here. But composure. That's a great point that I hadn't thought of. We do chirp to the refs a lot, and Chris Paul is obviously notorious for that through his whole career. After hearing that, Randy, are you worried about the refs? The Suns chirping, the other team getting 70 free throws and we're getting 3?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel like
wow.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because I'll give you 2 reasons. One, this season we've proven, to me at least, that we can win and we can beat the ref. You know what I mean? Like, we've won multiple games where we had to beat the ref, and we've lost. I mean, realistically, if you really want to get surgical, like, we've lost probably like the free throw battle like every single night. Like, I have like it's probably
fair point. Fair point.
We've literally lost the free. Like, we don't get calls, so it's just like that's why it's like number one. Number two, like the level of play of this team. Like, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but like whenever D-Book gets a tech or whenever D-Book gets in foul trouble, or like Chris Paul, same thing. It's like the level that we go to, like, because now we can't chirp to the refs, or now we can't talk for whatever reason. Like, the level of play goes up, so it's just like, all right, now I'm mad. So it's just like, now let's go kill these dudes. You know what I mean? And I think personally, Book plays better when he's in foul trouble or when he's you know what I'm saying, after he gets that tech and now he knows like, all right, like I can't do anything anymore. So it's just like, now I got to focus on killing. So that's 2 reasons why I'm not worried about
it.
Go on. I'm trying to look this up real quick about the free throw disparity.
Yeah, so I don't know how many, like, I'm 87% sure.
No, that, like, I thought it was John's in the chat. Suns average 16.1 attempts. Their opponents average 17. So yeah, technically they do.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I feel like I'm more scared of Scott Foster. Like, all right, like I will say that, like, if Scott Foster's repping the game, I'll be a little bit more concerned. But like, I feel like we've had to battle that.
I better not see certain refs in
20.2 for the Suns, 22.2 for the opposition. He said those were the makes right there. So we have a better percentage. And I always feel like in the first half it's like 16-4. And then by the end of the game it'll be like 27-23.
Right. But I feel like another thing about it too is that like just referees are professionals in the sense of they know how to cook to where like it's a lopsided game. It's been a lot of games too where it's just like it's felt lopsided like in the first half or when it really mattered, and then they'll find a way to like cook it and be like, all right, like when you actually look at the box score, it's like damn, like they only shot 3 more or like 4 more free throws than us tonight. But it's just like if you sat there and watched the whole game from its entirety, like you knew that like there was some cooking going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And those are the small little intricacies that I worry about when it comes to the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. And what most of it we talked about had absolutely nothing to do with our players or coaching or scheme or rebounding or, things along those lines. It's all these little things here or there.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited for the play-in game.
I am too.
I'm a little looking forward to it, like more so than I thought I would, right?
Right.
Spurs, just because
maybe
I know
Pop can get in there.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people shit on the play-in game. Like I do get it to a certain extent, but like eventually there's gonna be a year where there's gonna be a Cinderella, and it's gonna be so fun to watch. Like I think this play-in is gonna help, some of the lower income teams to get some sort of praise for a little bit. I think it's good for the NBA in general.
Now, last year they were mostly blowout games.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't any good, but this year we're probably looking at. I mean, things are still to be decided. The Charlotte Hornets are probably going to be that last team there, so it'll be either a Nets Hornets or Hawks Hornets game, and then a Cavs Nets. Man, talk about bummer for the Cavs.
I know.
They just fell apart. They just
injuries
I
killed
don't know
them.
what happened.
Jared Allen is out a whole bunch. Like, it just is what it is. They had injuries. Once Ricky Rubio was out, we all knew it was over anyways for them, right?
Yeah,
that was the heart and soul of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization for years was Ricky Rubio and that mane of hair.
Love Rubio.
So, bummer for them. I mean, I don't know how many games the Cavs and the Bulls have. So, depending on what their record is against each other, maybe Cleveland can hop over. No, they've got they've clinched the play. And my bad. So,
yeah,
Cavs and Nets. I think everybody's going to be looking at the Nets to probably win that one and then play Boston in the first round. Holy hell. And then you'll have the Cavs play the winner of the Hawks and Hornets. You would assume it would be the Hawks. So then you'll have the Hawks versus the Heat. How about that? What a way to test that Miami Heat defense than a matchup with the Atlanta Hawks. I think the Nets would beat the Hawks in any scenario if they were to lose to the Cavaliers for any reason. But I think it's going to be the Nets at 7, Hawks at 8. And then you go down to
the
Western Conference. I think Minnesota's going to be stuck there. I think Denver will definitely win at least one or two of their games. Then you got T-Wolves and Clippers, game 1.
That's going to be a great series.
That's a good one.
Patrick Beverly revenge.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But who's going to guard Karl Anthony Towns? Zubac?
Maybe Hartenstein, but they can't.
Rocco, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, I'm drawing a brain fart right now. Where did Serge Ibaka get traded to? It was the Bucks,
Milwaukee.
Right? Yeah, it was the Bucks. That's right. I wanted to say it was the T-Wolves, but I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. And then you're going to have the Pelicans and the Spurs for that game. I mean, Phoenix Suns fans know very well what the Pelicans can do. Don't mess with the Pels, man. They're dangerous, especially with CJ McCollum out there and Valanciunas. We're going to have Valanciunas versus Pirtle. Then we got DeJounte Murray versus CJ McCollum.
Isn't Pirtle out?
He was out for a handful of games. I would expect him to play in the playing game. I haven't heard anything different.
I thought I read something. He had like a high ankle sprain or something, but I don't know. That might be old news.
So I think the Clippers beat the T-Wolves, and then we're going to have a T-Wolves versus, in my opinion, a Pelicans matchup. And so we're either going to play the Pels or the T-Wolves. I'm more afraid of the Pelicans because of the Willie Green factor, and CJ McCollum can light it up. I'm less worried about the Timberwolves because they have the Patrick Beverly attitude. I think we all saw that on display, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to
How
get
do y'all
teed
feel
up like
about
crazy
the?
if they keep that up.
How do y'all feel about any of those games? The T-Wolves, the Clips, the Pels, the Spurs.
I'm gonna just go super hot take. I'm gonna say Spurs get 8th spot. I feel like Pop can coach you into I think Pop can win 2 games. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's if he has to play the T Wolves, then okay. I think the Spurs get it. But if they have to play the Clippers, probably not. But
Hey, DeJounte Murray's that dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love me some DeJounte Murray, the best Murray in the Western Conference.
and I would love to send Pop into retirement. Definitely. Because isn't this his last season, right?
On a little bit of revenge. I haven't heard it's his last season, but it's got any time now. It's going to be his last season, but that's a little Phoenix Suns revenge there, right? I mean, I've told you guys, I want the smoke. If that means the Clippers in the first round, fucking bring it. We've already beat them. I don't know if they've improved. And they lost the main guy that can guard Devin Booker, at least interrupt him to a point in Patrick Beverley in that system.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost Ibaka. Word. Give me JaVale McGee over Hartelstein any day of the week. Give me DA on Zubox. Norman Powell had a nice night. Let's see how you do when it comes playoff basketball. That's something different we didn't see last year. Really didn't even see this year. We didn't see Norman Powell against the Suns at all until now, and he was, 25 for 25?
Right.
But give me all the smoke. I'm more afraid of Reggie Jackson than Paul George in the clutch.
Right.
Paul George will choke at some point. But
we
PG will do his thing.
Playoff P got his name back. He got his name back.
Playoff P is
on his jacket.
Almost here.
George Paul.
But tell me y'all remember fourth quarter Game 6 Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, he blew 2 free throws. Oh no.
No, that was Game 5.
That's when we sent him home.
No, that was game. No,
Game
that
6.
might have been. No, game 6. I think it was Game 4. No, that was Game 4. That was like the 83-89 game or whatever. That was Game 4. And then Game 5, we went to Phoenix and they pulled it out. Game 6 on the road. Come on, y'all. What happened Game 6 on the road in the fourth quarter? Paul George was lighting it up, was lighting us up 1 through 3 quarters. Torrey Craig comes in and he stopped Paul George in his tracks. And literally within 3 to 4 minutes, that game was over. They couldn't hit a bucket. We get a rebound, go on the fast break, hit a 3. Same thing would happen, get a dunk. Same thing would happen and 1. Then we get another 3. All of a sudden, that 4-point lead was 16 with 7.5 to go.
Yeah, that was a blur for me.
Torrey Craig came in
on a
15-0
run, dude.
Torrey Craig shut down Paul George. They have all those wings, remember. They got those 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" wings, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Torrey Craig is longer than them and bigger.
And athletic.
A
lot of them.
And he's got a better stroke this year from 3.
Yeah, Torrey Craig's just pulling up now. He's just he just walks up and he just pulls it now.
Yeah,
to see it.
With confidence. Jay Crowder didn't even enter that fourth quarter, if I remember correctly. It was all Torrey Craig.
Yeah, that's what I like to call him.
I don't remember Jay in that game.
I don't remember Jay.
Because it was Torrey Craig. That's because it was Torrey Craig. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig.
Call Torrey Craig on time because that's what he always is, man. He's always on time. He might not be there when you want him.
Big country.
Yeah, he's on time. Torrey Craig, TC.
So come on, man. Give me all the smoke. I will take the Clippers
Second
in
round.
1.
Second round. Where are we going? Dallas or Utah?
Give me Luka. Give me Luka. No one believes in Utah, man. No one believes in Utah. I'd be shocked.
Utah, dude.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Utah. I want to play the winner, obviously, because I want all the smoke. But give me Luka. Give me the golden boy. Give me the pretty boy, and let's beat them 4-1.
How close is it between 4 and 5? Oh, so no, they have 5. So Denver can kind of take that 5th spot. So it could be another Denver matchup.
Give me Denver too.
I don't know if I want to play. I'm cool. I mean, we can.
I don't want Denver because there's karma against us.
I can give a flying F about the Nuggets, dude.
I mean, they don't have the weapons to beat us, but it's just like I don't want them
Not
like
for 4
they're coming
games.
at us charged up.
Yeah, they would be
opening
pissed.
night.
There's karma against us, right? There's karma against Suns and Nuggets right now.
Right.
I will 100% admit that. I don't want it for that reason, but I don't think we're going to lose to them. If that's the case and they've got a beef with us and Denver hates Phoenix that much, cool, bring them on too.
Randy,
but give me Luka and the Golden Boy.
All you got to do is have Campaign stick his arm out on Campazzo's head and just let him swing, dude.
Campazzo ain't even going to play, though. That's
I haven't seen him out there.
They're gonna have Bones out there. Fine, Monte man. Morris is healthy. Will Bynum
Bones Highland literally took his spot, like literally.
Or same thing with Bones Highland.
Give me all that smoke, and then going into the Western Conference Finals. If it is the Grizzlies, if it is the Warriors, I mean, give me the Warriors because I want the media to downplay us left and right.
Yeah,
that's what I want. So give me the Warriors. The Grizzlies might be the better team. We're gonna see if they've got to play the Clippers round one. Like we're legit gonna see. But give me all the smoke. And then when it comes to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't give a damn if we play Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I don't give a damn if we play a surging Celtics. I don't give a damn if we play Giannis again.
Nah, I'm scared. I don't know. Y'all got a lot more confidence in me.
I do not see the Nets changing things, dude. They're past Patty, Kyrie, and KD. There's nothing there. There's no solid role players. There isn't any substance. Nash doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. No. I just don't think there's too much competition in the East this year for them to pull it out. And Ben Simmons, he isn't playing the rest of the season. Too.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. So,
if Ben Simmons was playing, we would for sure win because Book's vendetta against him and Kendall Jenner. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I was watching a clip earlier of that D Book playing when he was playing in that open run when he got double teamed. And I was like, I wonder if one day if anybody will ever come out and say what happened exactly in that gym that day. Yo, D Book went absolutely crazy. They didn't lose a game. I just want to know just the backstory of it because I think Ben Simmons was in there too. So I was just I wonder what really happened in that gym.
If they were going to talk to Joakim Noah, he's just going to talk a lot of shit because he can never give props to opposing players and stuff. So if they ask him, it's just going to be a bunch of gibberish. So.
But I was just going through the mental of it.
Yes,
how much are you how bad is it? If you're double teaming somebody in pickup, how bad is he killing?
We've already I've discussed this at length. If you're double teaming in a pickup game at the Y, what the fuck are you doing?
There was stuff happening before the camera went on. Booker had to have been hitting everything.
Before. Yeah, because it was Joakim Noah that came out to double team, and then it's not like Book tried to do something and got stuffed or anything. He just came back out right away. He's like, "What are y'all doing? This is pickup."
Man, y'all must have been getting cooked. He must have won every game that day. And it was just the only way we can get him off the court is something. We got to do something. I'm tired of losing. We're literally tired of losing.
And did y'all see KD and JJ Redick on the podcast today? And they were asked, "What's your favorite player to watch right now?" JJ's like, "Well, for me, it's Book," and KD was like, "Yeah, that's who I was gonna say. It's Book." Again, your favorite player's favorite player. God, I'm tired of being right. Vlogs. I'm throwing a few ideas out there. Sunday, we're gonna have our big show. We're gonna have a big hour and a half, close to 2 hour show. I've got a special guest that I'm not revealing quite yet. That's gonna be on with us to just preview everything, review everything. We're gonna take Monday off, but then I want to come back Tuesday and Wednesday as well. I'm not going to be available next Sunday night, y'all, because we're going out of town from Friday to Monday, just kind of getting away from everything. So I won't be around, but I'm going to try to do as many pods as possible. And depending on the Wi-Fi at the Airbnb, which everybody knows is shoddy as hell at best, I'm going to try to do something at least post game for our first matchup. So I'm going to try to push on as much content, but Sunday we've got a we got a special guest coming through. So come join us Sunday, y'all. I'll let everybody know.
And just to throw this in too, it's playoff basketball time and stuff, and yeah, we're gonna be covering nonstop Phoenix Suns. That's a given. But I was planning on just starting Twitter Spaces and stuff after the certain games and stuff. And
yeah, that'd be cool. Let's go.
If you guys aren't listening to anything and you guys are desperate for some He's on Fire stuff, come follow us on Twitter. And we'll start, these Twitter Spaces, and you guys can say your piece, and we can just kind of direct a little show with our community, just talking about just the rest of the NBA. So
yeah. Spaces is a good idea because I can get on that with LTE if I got some down there. But we're going kind of in a cabin in the middle of nowhere. But apparently they do have Wi-Fi. But it could be an old person that gets you like 2 megabytes up and down. So who knows what that's really going to be like. But either way, after this weekend, I'm going to be pushing out as much content as possible because, man, I'm really excited. I really wish the Lakers would have made it just so that we could have done live streams with Freddie and gotten 50 to 60,000 views again. That'd have been really nice.
Have Randy's brother.
How is your brother doing, Randy?
Oh man, he's sad. I mean, he cares about baseball, so he's an actual Dodger fan. So like literally yesterday, he was like, "Man, I'm so happy!" And he took off his shirt and he had a Dodger shirt, and he was like, "So I can stop watching." He's like, "So I can stop watching these." Lakers.
Did he believe in the team? Did he think they were going all the way?
I want to say up until about after All-Star break, and then he was broken. Like after, like I want to say, like I forgot what game did it. Yeah, I want to say.
Man.
I mean, a lot of people held out hope, and then like Shaq put a battery in a lot of people's back, especially when he was like when he hopped on that podcast, like, "Oh, the Lakers are right where they want to be," and if they see him in the first round, like this is what the Lakers want. Like Shaq literally put a battery and just was like, we can do it, and then they lost like 3 straight after that, and then it was just like, yeah, like maybe not.
Man, well, I'm gonna try to start an hour early my time, so 8:30 my time, 7:30 Valley time, so that we can go an extra half hour to an hour with our special guests. Plural guests. Oh man, I can't wait for it. We're gonna go an extra 2 hours because we're gonna have a lot to preview. Obviously, we'll have the 3-4 and the 2-6, or no, the 3-6 and the 4-5 matchup. We'll have set in stone. We'll have some play and stuff going on, so we get to talk about that. Who do we want to play? I'll probably do something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because I won't be available Thursday and on there. And no, like yes, I'm going to bring them on at some point, but no. It's a good one. It's a good one. So 63 wins, y'all. Best Phoenix Suns regular season team in history. It's something to celebrate. I don't care what anybody says, how it's like, oh, you haven't won the championship. Act like we've been there before. No, we haven't been there before. We haven't won a championship. And I've never seen I've seen a handful of basketball teams execute like we do in the NBA. Like I'm talking about a handful. I'm going back to the 2001 LA Lakers. I'm going back to the Jordan Bulls. I'm going back. People don't remember how clutch the mid-90s Rockets team was with Clyde, the Glide, and Hakeem. All right, a lot of people don't know. Like, and then I wouldn't even go as far. I wouldn't even say the Warriors.
I would say that. You wouldn't.
I don't think they. I think they blew out people during the game. But they never executed things flawlessly, like when it mattered. Clearly, because they lost.
The 72 Warriors, before
they
got
blew
KD.
Out teams. They were winning by 20, 30 points.
Maybe not.
And they were just going down hitting threes at a ridiculous rate. Like I'm probably wrong and biased on this one. I'll 100% give you that. And then I'll go to the 2008 Celtics.
Yeah,
because I think they were just clutch and they just got it. But I'm telling you, I haven't seen many NBA basketball teams like us.
Spurs,
yeah. Absolutely. a handful of the
2014
Spurs teams.
I would say the 2003 Pistons.
2008 Spurs. The 2004 Pistons. No, I'm not going to compare it because they won the finals games like 89 to 83. And I don't think we're going to do that. That's completely different. You talk about the Wallace brothers. Oh boy. They would, if there was an NBA team that had Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace on a team today, they would be the number 1 seed.
Absolutely.
I promise you. Yeah. So that was a different breed. The Pacers that next season were about to be there. Before the Rumble at the Palace. That Pacers team was ridiculous.
Yeah, that Pacers team was so good. Yeah.
But we're talking about a handful of teams. I've mentioned 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in my 30 years of watching basketball.
Samsung.
I've never seen a Phoenix Suns team execute the way we do, and fight through adversity. I will put the 99-2000 Blazers that lost to the Lakers in that. I mean, if it wasn't for Robert Horry hitting a clutch 3 and it being tipped out to him, that's different. Sean Elliott tiptoes shooting a 3. None of the Heat teams. Notice I didn't say any LeBron teams.
Yeah. Cleveland, it was a lot of sloppy wins. Ugly wins.
Man.
No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Sonia, Geek doesn't like us for some reason. He unfriended us and everything. I don't know what's going on there. So put in a good word for us. We'd love to have Geek on again, or just on period in general. I don't know what happened with all that, but it's cool. We're here. We're chilling. We got a really cool guest coming on, but I'm very confident in this team, you guys. We're going to get out of here in a minute, but I'm very, very confident in this team. And I'm pulling what my friend did, who's a New York Giants fan, when they went to 2 Super Bowls. 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, right? You go up to him that next Monday. Man, congrats. How are you? I hate the Giants, but you're my boy. How are you feeling? I'm not saying anything. He didn't say a damn word, and they won both Super Bowls. And I always kind of admired that. So after Sunday, I'm not making any predictions on the Suns and games. I'll go through everything else, but I'm not scared, and I'm confident. And I think this team is better suited to win more so than any other Phoenix Suns team, even more so than Barkley.
Yeah.
Randy, final thoughts. What do you got, my guy?
I'm ready for the playoffs. Like you said, I don't see a lot of teams beating us. I've already put my foot in my mouth and bet that we would sweep Memphis, so I guess we have to do that now.
It would be 3-1. Come on, it wouldn't be a sweep.
It's too late for me now. I'm off the deep end, so I'm in too deep. So yeah, I've talked my way into sweeping Memphis. So yeah, man. So I'm just a fun fact. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed or recognize this or looked it up, but the finals start in May this year. Like, it's not in June. I was telling people like, oh, like, see you in June, and then like the finals start in May. Like, that's
the finals start in June.
End or like. No, not this year.
The first game is like June 2nd or something. I don't want it to go this far, but wouldn't it be so poetic for the Suns to win Game 7 of the NBA Finals at home on Father's Day on June 19th?
Rather than winning Game 4, but you have your dream,
I'd rather win Game 4, 5, and 6. Let me tell you what, but I'm just saying.
And if we can close it out in 4, I'll take that too. I can't. Yeah, we were already up 2-0, so I feel like if we do get back there and we go up 2-0 again, it's just going to be a lot of like triggering a lot of.
I already made my prediction on a few pods ago. If we get to the NBA Finals, I said it. I don't want to say it now because now I'm starting to get to that zero dark 30. Does anybody remember my finals prediction for the Suns?
Yeah, I do. I'm not going to repeat it, but yeah.
I'm going to just say you say we won 16 games. That's all. We won 16.
But like,
Great
yeah,
audio
just
content.
yeah, just to add my final thoughts,
Please.
man, just enjoy, this moment. We're witnessing history. We're, when Devin Booker gave his game worn jersey, he signed it for Al McCoy, and with all the time Al McCoy, like all the teams Al McCoy has covered throughout the years, like
I love it.
you can hear in Al McCoy's voice like how much he adores his team, how much he loves his team. And the same thing with Eddie Johnson too, and how like I've never heard Eddie Johnson talk so highly of just a Phoenix Suns team before, and they're on the Phoenix Suns payroll, but you can hear it in their voice how much they care about this organization and this team in general, and seeing what Booker did with Al McCoy. Like no matter how the season ends and stuff, I know that this is probably the best Phoenix Suns team we've ever seen, and Devin Booker is going to be he's going to either be one or two in the best Phoenix Suns players of all time, and I think he's just entering his prime now, and he is looking scary. So I'm like my headspace going in is one game at a time. What the gif I've been using for the last 2 weeks straight is Kobe saying job's not finished, and I'm gonna keep on using that until the confetti falls on our heads and we're the victors. So
I've been saying that all season. I'm so glad
finished,
that I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I completely agree 100%. It's one game at a time, and all that matters is the one that's right in front of you. Go win game one, right, Randy? Go win game one, and then we'll go on from there.
Let's quote Monty real quick, okay? Let's quote Monty. It's a better well said than
well done.
Than well done. Yeah.
So, I thought you were gonna say everything you want's on the other side of hard.
That's another great one too. So, but like this team is just special, dude. And hearing NBA analysts like the last month talk like Jay Will and Stephen A. Like I can give a shit what these guys say, but it means a lot when they talk positive about our team and stuff. Like when the stupid topics come up, like, oh, is this team a threat to the Suns? And you have like them answer real quick, like, no one's beating the Suns. Come on now. Like it just feels so good. But only time will tell. And Evan, you said this a couple pods ago. If we're destined to win, it's going to happen regardless. So, that's how I'm going in. Job's not finished, bro. Job's not finished.
Boom shakalaka!
Enjoy it. This is beautiful.
Enjoy it now before we turn into the villains. Enjoy it now, dude. We're just about last season before we turn into the villains.
We are the villains. Yeah. Everybody hates the winner that's not their own team. We are the villains. And I'm 100% okay with that. Look, you're right. If it's our turn, it's our turn. And it won't matter who we play. And everybody here, everybody that's been in the chat, Sonia, thank you so much. AZ Cards, PHX Suns, thank you for coming in. Westville, Fabio, I know you guys were getting off the Suns Jam pod, and I hate doing post-game pods because they're on it as well too, but we go on Sunday and Wednesday, so it is what it is. Darth was in here for a second. Vlogs, JV, Roy, Alfonso, everybody that's coming in here, man, like, thank you so much. This has been a very special season, and job ain't done yet, but this is a special season. 2 more games. Even if we don't play any of our guys, watch the game. Appreciate what they're doing. Appreciate greatness when you see it in a Phoenix Suns jersey. And just stay positive. No counting money, guy. We don't need that.
He's not allowed.
Don't talk shit on Twitter until we beat the team. Mm-hmm. Just like Jay Crowder did with salsa dancing. Just like CP3 was doing with all that. Don't talk shit until we win. We don't need that extra karma on us because teams already hate us. The refs already hate us. The league is going to be betting against us. I truly believe it's our time, Phoenix Suns fans, and we're going to find out soon. Other quick notes real quick. Arizona State Sun Devils baseball beat number 10 Arizona Wildcats. I always love that. We got the Masters starting up tomorrow. You guys probably don't watch golf, do you? No Masters fans here.
Nah.
Big Masters fan over here. I love watching them. I don't watch any other golf tournament. I love the Masters. I love it. So I'm really looking forward to watching the Masters. MLB opening day tomorrow night as well too. I'm gonna have on my D-Bags jersey, and I'm gonna be repping them hardcore, watching them beat down the Padres. Albert, if you're watching. And also, shout out to my friend B, Brian Netto, who won the He's on Fire March Madness bracket. He picked Kansas to win, and sure enough, he got it. So we had 16.
Nice, dude.
We had 16 entries. One of them, I had absolutely no idea who it was. The name didn't sound familiar. I messaged everybody else, and I was like, who the hell is this? I have no idea who this person is. How did you get it? So that person didn't pay, unfortunately. So he got, I think he got $75 for winning that. So bravo to him. So we'll have more coming up soon, more fun stuff. We're going to have a He's on Fire podcast fantasy football league that we're going to throw down on. It's going to be like a 12-team league at least. And if a lot of people join, I'd love to have 2 leagues, League A, League B, something like that. Opening day, Masters. Oh, and the U.S. Men's National Championship officially will be playing against England or what is it, Wales, Scotland, or Ukraine, one of those. And I'm blanking on the third team who the U.S. Men's National Team is going to be playing against in that Group B. So if anybody in the chat knows, I don't know why I'm blanking. Crazy, but anyways, a lot of good sports going on, and we got the draft in 3 weeks. We got the draft in 3 weeks. I want to have a live draft party as well too. We'll see Croatia. That's right, vlog. We got Croatia in there. So draft party, we're going to go live. We're going to bring in the 49ers cutback crew as well too. Plus our Seattle Seahawks correspondent from Quest from the West. We'll bring them on. We're going to chop it up during draft night as well too. So a lot of good things coming in on He's on Fire podcast, but none of them are more important than your Phoenix Suns, right? That is all that matters right now, y'all. 2 more games. We're going to be back with you an hour early on Sunday. 7:30 Valley time with a special guest. He's on Fire podcast. Come back on Sunday. Go Suns.
Peace.
Urbanchi sets. Looks up. And it is caught. Down strong.